It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about all the books I've read so far this year, my winter reads if you will, but I've decided to have a little fun with it and I'm going to be tier ranking them. Now, if you're unfamiliar with tier ranking or you've never seen a tier ranking video, it usually looks a little like this. I did make my own tiers as you can see here, and you might be wondering what the hell those mean. I will explain myself. I don't think a lot of people know this about me actually, but I'm obsessed with Vine and I have a constant loop of Vines replaying in my head all the time. It's a problem. And each of these tiers represents a Vine. Now, at the top, representing the best of the best, we have the iconic Bo Burnham Vine.
Is there anything better than pussy? Yes, a really good book.
And this, of course, will house the books that I think are better than Pussy and are absolutely great and that I will be probably thinking about for the rest of my life. Now, right below that, we have the Guacamole Lady.
Peel the avocado. Guacamole.
I have no real reason for this one except the vibes. I absolutely love that vine, and the joy it brings me is unmatched. So these will be the books that bring me great joy and that make me go. In the middle tier, we have wow.
Wow.
And these books were entertaining and interesting to experience, but ultimately not great, not bad, just wow. Second to last year, we have Kombucha Girl, also known as the iconic Brittany Broski.
You know what? No. Well,
And these will be the books that ultimately didn't really enjoy that much, but there were good things about it, and that made me go, maybe they're good, but ultimately didn't like it. And lastly, of course, we have I Don't Care That You Broke Your Elbow.
You know what? I'm about to say it. Okay. I don't care that you broke your elbow.
And these will be the books that I don't really care about. They didn't really make a lasting impression on me, so I don't really care. I did start the year rereading Love Theoretically by Ellie Hazelwood. It's one of my favorite Ellie Hazelwood books, actually. Check and Mate is still my favorite of hers, but Love Theoretically is a close second. And this will instantly go to the Pussy tier. I love this book. I relate to Elsie on so many levels, and this will always be one of my favorite romance books. I love Jack. I love Elsie. I think this book really highlights Ellie Hazelwood's writing and humor. I love the comedy in her books. I love the banter. Yeah. And this is one of the prime examples of Ellie Hazelwood's writing, I think. I love this book. Now, for those who haven't read it, Love Theoretically follows Elsie, and she's part of a company that offers fake dating services, and she does this to afford her education. But when she gets the opportunity to pursue her dream job, one of her clients' older brother could stand in the way of her actually getting her dream job. I love this book. I love this story. I love the characters. Next, I read The Jazz at Air, and this became really popular. I started seeing it everywhere. It's about Sylvia or Essia, and she escaped the decimation of her nation, Jazad, and is now living in a remote town. No one knows who she is. And she prefers it that way because Jazad had a lot of magic, and now with the decimation of Jazad, magic is outlawed. And now Nizal, the nation that decimated Jazad, is now really powerful. And one day, the Nizal heir actually tracks a group of Jazadis to the town Sylvia now lives in, and her magic, that had been until then totally dormant, actually comes back to life. And now the Nizal heir actually sees an opportunity in her and makes her participate in this deadly trial that she must survive. This book had a lot of promise. I was actually really excited to read it. Everyone that I share favorite books with loved this book, but ultimately I think it should go to the wow category for me. I liked it. It was okay, but I've read a lot of better fantasy, and this underdelivered a little bit, just a little underwhelming for me. but I still liked it. I really loved the banter. I loved how the main couple was actually enemies to lovers. And yeah, I like the humor. It was a solid read. I just was expecting more from it. So yeah. Then I read the sequel, The Jazz Crown. This one I'm torn between kombucha and the elbow. Mm-mm-mm. I think kombucha. There were a few things I liked about this book, especially in the first half, but the ending I really, really didn't like the ending. I hate when a certain trope happens, and it happened in this book, so that really plummeted my enjoyment of it. But yeah, I think it's a balance between things I liked and things I didn't like. Next up, I read the Skyline trilogy by Kennedy Ryan. These were my first Kennedy Ryan books. I love this trilogy. They're all romance, and each follows one of three best friends through divorces, through babies, through marriages, everything. I really liked how they were all in their late 30s, early 40s. I think more books should focus on that age group. I think it's really important to show how life can change and that that's okay, that your life doesn't have to stay the same after you turn 25, that you need to get your life together at 25. You don't. It's fine. I really like this. Before I let go, might be my favorite. I think guacamole is the correct tier for this one. I had a great time. That feels weird to say because it deals with a lot of heavy topics. So definitely check the trigger warnings for this trilogy. They all touch on sensitive topics. This could be us. Might also be guacamole, to be honest. Yeah, they were both 4 stars, so I think this feels right. Now, the third one was a little bit of a letdown for me. It's a billionaire romance. I don't like billionaire romances, so might be in the wow tier. Yeah, that feels right. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but the whole trilogy is really great. I do recommend it if you haven't read it. It's amazing, really realistic characters, really great writing. Yeah, Lessons in Chemistry. Yeah, then I read Lessons in Chemistry. This was surprising, actually. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. This follows Elizabeth Zott in the early 60s, I think, and it's basically her story navigating misogyny in a mostly male dominated field in chemistry, as you can imagine. And then she gets an opportunity to do TV also, and it's really, really funny. I wasn't expecting that. It has great humor, it has great characters. I loved Elizabeth. I think she's one of my favorite main characters, which was really surprising. I love this. I think this goes into guacamole, but stronger than the other two. Yeah, it's a stronger guacamole. Highly recommend this one as well, but check the trigger warnings for this one too, because there's an explicit SA scene. But yeah, really great book all around. Next up, I read Wuthering Heights. This is the Portuguese edition that I read. Wuthering Heights is a classic, so I don't think I need to really dive into the plot. It explores revenge, obsession, privilege, all that stuff. I really liked it. I had read it like 10 years ago, maybe, and it just went right over my head. I honestly think I didn't understand it at the time, but I did really love it this time. I think it also goes in guacamole, but like here. I think that feels right. Yeah. I don't often have a great time reading classics, but this was really enjoyable. I did also see the movie, unfortunately, and I agree with all the criticism that you probably have seen floating around. That was not a real adaptation of this book at all. It was romanticization of abuse, basically. So I don't recommend the movie. I do recommend the classics. So next, I read the new B.K. Borison release, and now back to you. This is part of the Heartstrings series, I want to say. And yeah, this follows two meteorologists. How the fuck do you say that word? Meteorologists. And they don't really see eye to eye. It's annoyances to lovers, basically. I already don't remember a lot of it, so it instantly has to go in the lower tiers, but I don't know which one. You think kombucha? No, no, I think wow. Because it was entertaining. I did have fun, but I don't remember it. Next, I read Fahrenheit 451. I loved this book. It is also a classic, as I'm sure you know. It's about books, shocker, and the value of literature, and it's amazing. I don't want to say anything else because although it is a classic and you probably know what it's about, I don't want to spoil anything for you in case you haven't read it. So you should read it, by the way, and this is Pussytear. Fahrenheit 451 is Pussytear, and I love it. It's one of my all-time favorite books now, and I read it this year. What a joy to be alive, you know? Oh, I love books. I love literature. You should definitely read this book, especially now. It's so important to read what you believe in. Oh, this really, really worth it. I highly recommend it. Please read it. Next up, I read I Am Not Jessica Chen by Anne Liang. This was my first Anne Liang book. I really liked it actually. I don't usually gravitate towards YA anymore, but this was really fun. This book's about Jenna Chen, and all her life she has been compared to her cousin Jessica, and they are of similar ages, but her cousin always seems to be one step ahead in a way. She has the highest grades, she has all the success paved out in front of her, and Jenny always feels a little bit behind. This was really relatable to me. I have also been compared to a lot of people in my life, and it's not a great feeling. So I really, really like that in this book. The writing is amazing. I need to read more Anne Liang. I love the writing in this. It's so whimsical and beautiful, so visual. I really enjoyed it. I had a great time reading this. So I do think, yeah, I do think this goes in guacamole. Here. Yeah, this feels right. I also do recommend this one. If you like YA, I know some people don't really connect with YA, but shocker, it does have teenage characters and they will behave like teenagers, so just a warning, but it's really, really great. Next, I read 3 books for the Trans Rights Readathon that I spoke a little about in my last video. First, I read All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson, and as I said, I really enjoyed this, but I did have my qualms with it. You might go in the wow category just here. This is a memoir, so it's about George M. Johnson's life and the struggles as a queer black teen and adult. It was really empowering and sad at times, but also really beautiful. I really liked it, but ultimately it was just in the middle. It was okay. Next, I read The Deep, as you saw in my last video. The Deep follows black mermaids and their descendants of African slaves thrown overboard from slave ships. So it's about memory and inherited trauma. This was a really short book, but for such a short book, I did find it repetitive, and for that, I think I will put it in kombucha. Maybe I don't care. I don't have any books in the I don't care that you broke your elbow. Maybe I didn't need that too, but I wanted it. I think I will put it in kombucha because I finished it and I just felt like I wanted more. It's an important story, it has an important message, but I think I was a bit disappointed by it. So kombucha it is. Next, I read Pet. I knew I was gonna like Pet, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it. This was amazing. This is instantly going to pussy. Oh my, oh my god. That sounded wrong. Okay, for those who haven't read Pet, this is set in a world where there had been monsters before, and these monsters are sort of framed as, think of monstrous people nowadays, think of monstrous acts people can commit, and these were called monsters. But allegedly, now there are no monsters left. And this follows Jam, and her mom is a painter, and one day her painting comes to life. And this is about Jam and what's the painting. I loved this book. I love the writing. I love the message. I think everyone should read this book. The allegories, the symbolism. I love this book. I can't believe I waited this long to read it. I had always had it like in the back of my mind, like one day I'll read it, and I finally did. And I, it's so worth it. I do believe this should be required reading. It's amazing. Please read it. So yeah, these are my tier rankings, I think. So yeah, These were the 14 books I've read so far this year. It's been an okay reading year. A lot of books have fallen kind of in the middle for me, and I don't like that, so I need to up my game a little bit. I'm looking forward to the rest of the year. I'm hoping I'll add some more all time favorite books to the list. So let me know what you thought of any books that you've read in this list. Let me know what you thought of my tier ranking list and system. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!